Ever notice how the internet's answer to literally every single relationship problem right now is just to block them, ghost them, cut them off entirely? Your coworker ate your yogurt? Cut them out. Your aunt is a little too nosy at Thanksgiving? Block her number immediately. We are living in this wild era where going totally no contact is treated like the ultimate cure for everything. But let's be completely real for a second. That is not how actual life works. You cannot just go around slicing people out of your life like you were playing real-life Fruit Ninja. Sometimes you have to work with these people. Sometimes they are family members that you still love deep down. Sometimes they are lifelong friends who are just going through a super messy phase. So how do you actually protect your energy? How do you keep your sanity completely intact without having to pack up and live on a deserted island? Today, we are diving deep into the psychology of protecting your peace. And guess what? No ghosting is required. Stick around for this because the third point we cover is going to completely change how you deal with that one totally exhausting person in your life. Let's kick things off with something psychologists call the gray rock method. We all know that one person who always brings the drama. They absolutely thrive on chaos. Every single time you talk to them, it feels like you stepped into a massive energy trap. They want to argue, they want to complain, they want to pull you into their vortex. So how do you handle them without blowing up the relationship? Imagine a regular, boring rock sitting on the ground. It is completely uninteresting, right? It does not react to anything. It does not give you any emotional feedback. That is exactly what you need to become around this person. When they try to drag you into their mess, you do not argue back. You do not get defensive. You definitely do not try to fix them. You just give the most incredibly bland responses you can possibly think of. You say things like, "Oh, wow," or "that's crazy," or just a simple, "Okay." You are low-key giving them absolutely nothing to feed on. Psychologically, highly dramatic or narcissistic people are looking for a reaction. They want the dopamine hit that comes from your emotional response. When you withhold that reaction, they get super bored. They realize you are not a good source of drama anymore. They will naturally back off without you ever having to say, "Leave me alone." You do not have to block them on everything, you just have to make yourself completely uninteresting to their toxic traits. It is basically putting them on emotional mute. You are still in the room, but you are not playing their crazy game. Moving on to the second strategy, let's talk about boundaries and the magic of the soft no. People hear the word boundary and instantly think it means building a massive brick wall. But a healthy boundary is actually more like a fence with a gate. You get to control who comes in and exactly when they come in. A lot of us suffer from being massive people pleasers. We say yes to things we absolutely hate doing just to keep the peace. But doing that is literally draining your battery to zero. Enter the soft no. This is a psychological masterclass in keeping your relationship strong while fiercely protecting your own time. Instead of giving a hard, aggressive rejection that might hurt their feelings, you pivot. Let's say a friend wants to hang out, but you are completely wiped out from work. Instead of making up some fake excuse or just ignoring their text, you say something like, "I am totally tapped out tonight, but I would love to catch up over coffee on Thursday." Or you could say, "I don't really have the bandwidth for a big, loud dinner, but let's do a quick FaceTime later." Do you see what happened there? You are validating the friendship. You are showing them you still care about them, but you are also fiercely protecting your current mental state. It's totally fine to love someone and still not want to deal with them for 48 hours. The soft no lets you protect your peace without making things awkward or weird.
Now for the third point, and this is a massive truth bomb. Not everybody deserves front row tickets to your life. Most of us treat our relationships like a VIP all-access pass. Once someone is in our life, we feel this huge obligation to share everything with them. But psychologically speaking, that is a fast track to major burnout. Think of your life like a giant concert venue. You have the VIP section right up front. These are your ride or dies, the people who get your raw, unfiltered self. Then you have the regular seating area. These are good friends, but maybe you do not share your deepest childhood traumas with them. And then, way in the back, you have the nosebleeds. This is for acquaintances, coworkers, and those distant relatives you see once a year. The massive problem starts when you let nosebleed people into the VIP section. When you overshare with someone who has not actually earned that deep level of trust, you leave yourself wide open to getting hurt or completely drained. You do not need to cut the nosebleed people off, you just need to keep them in their proper section. Stop expecting VIP-level support from people who only bought general admission tickets. Downgrade their access to your personal life. You can still be super friendly, you can still crack jokes at the office, but you stop giving them the heavy emotional stuff. This instantly protects your peace because you stop expecting them to be something they simply are not. Strategy number 4 hits a little close to home for a lot of people. You have to drop the savior complex. You probably have a friend who is constantly in some kind of crisis. Every single week is a brand new disaster, and every single time you rush in to save the day. You give them amazing, thoughtful advice. You listen to them vent for hours on end, and then what happens? They do the exact opposite of what you suggested, and the whole exhausting cycle repeats itself. To protect your peace without cutting them off, you have to kill your inner superhero. Psychologically, we often try to fix other people as a way to feel a sense of control or value in our own lives, but you cannot do their push-ups for them. When they come to you with their usual daily drama, try shifting your response. Instead of offering a 10-step solution, just offer simple validation. Say something like, "Man, that sounds really tough," or "I'm so sorry you're dealing with all that right now." Do not offer a fix. Do not play their unpaid therapist. You are literally stepping right off their emotional roller coaster. You remain a good friend, but you refuse to be their emotional dumping ground. This keeps the relationship alive, but completely removes the heavy burden from your own shoulders. It's an absolute game changer. You will be amazed at how much lighter you feel when you fully realize that their personal chaos is not your assigned homework. Finally, strategy number 5 is all about taking back your time. Let's call it the delay tactic. We live in a fast-paced world where everything is totally instant. Text messages, Instagram DMs, snaps. There's this stressful unspoken rule that if someone reaches out to you, you owe them an immediate response. That pressure alone is enough to spike your cortisol levels through the roof. If someone texts you something stressful or demanding, your brain instantly goes into fight or flight mode. You feel forced to handle it right that exact second. Here's the ultimate life hack. Stop being so accessible all the time. Give yourself the beautiful gift of the pause. If a text message rubs you the wrong way or a favor feels way too heavy in that moment, do not reply immediately. Just put the phone down. Let it breathe for a few hours. Tell yourself that you are not going to even process this until tomorrow morning. By creating that deliberate time gap, you let your nervous system calm down. You move out of the highly reactive, emotional part of your brain and step back into the logical, rational part. When you finally do decide to respond, you'll be calm, collected, and totally in the driver's seat. You are not ignoring them forever. You are not cutting them out of your life. You are just operating on your own timeline, not theirs. Taking back total control of your response time is honestly one of the biggest flexes you can do for your mental health. Protecting your peace is really not about isolating yourself in a dark room. It's about managing your energy like an absolute boss. You don't have to burn down bridges just because the emotional toll is getting a little too high. You just have to renegotiate the terms of the relationship. Start using that gray rock method when things get dramatic. Hand out those soft no's without feeling guilty. Guard your VIP section with your life. Drop the exhausting savior complex and take your sweet time responding to people. Your mental health will seriously thank you for it. Alright guys, if any of these strategies hit home for you today, do me a massive favor and absolutely smash that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you want more psychology content just like this, and it helps the channel out big time. Also, drop a comment down below right now. Which of these 5 strategies are you going to start using this week? Let me know. I read all your comments and I love seeing what you guys think. Make sure to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a brand new video. Catch you in the next one. Stay peaceful.